It's freezing cold outside today. It's like 10 degrees and no flying. Don't have a whole lot else going on, so I thought I would go ahead and show you some cases that I've made over the years. So let's get into it. As you open up the case, this is what you'll see. Everything I need for long-term flying. Got my first aid and toolkit and spare parts kit, my charging case, which I'll go into a little bit, but I'm going to do a whole separate video on that because that's pretty great. Controller, goggles, quadcopter. Typically when I show up to fly, first thing I do is I pull out my transmitter. The DX9. I know everybody's got their own opinion for transmitters. This has served me well. I've got the Immersion RC Easy UHF JR module in there, and it has never failed me once. And for what I do, it's great. Love my head play goggles. I keep a little microfiber towel in there to keep things clean and keep it fun. Okay, this is the fun part. This case is set up to where when it's closed, I mean, this can be totally upside down, and I'll show you why. As I loosen these thumb screws, this orange board is secured firmly in place. So no matter what position the case is in, it's not going anywhere. I'll show you right now. Pull this out. So, get this out of the way, I set it aside. Then underneath, I've got my gimbal and GoPro are actually in here. Little foam, and it just pops onto my rails and plugs right in. I keep a case with a couple of SJ 4000s in it just for, you know, on the ground footage, stuff like that. 7-inch monitor I keep in there. Usually that's just for spectators. These straps, this one in particular, came with the case, and I didn't even have to relocate this one. It was just here, and I used it, and it holds this into place. Oh, that's heavy. It's my charging case. And underneath, I've got a full set of 15-inch props, tripod, and then I will get into that case shortly. Okay, to show you what I did, I'll pull some of this foam out. This is just sitting in here. So when I bought this case, I took some cardboard, I divided these sections out. I knew I wanted the top platform that would secure. So I took some cardboard, I made some templates, and I cut this 3/4 inch board out with the bandsaw, and then I glued it and then screwed through the other side, and I'll show you those screws right through the case and into this wood, and it's epoxied and screwed in, so it's, I mean, I could pick the whole case up by this piece of wood. I've got 3 of those in here with T-nuts in here, and that's what the thumb screws go into. And up here on the upper panel, this is just another one of those straps that came with the case. I relocated this one and trimmed it down to hold this case in place. And this is my medical first aid kit plus first aid kit for my quadcopter. And I'd like to give you a closer look at the top section. This is just a piece of 1/2 inch cheap plywood got from Home Depot. This is a 1/2 inch U-channel aluminum, and you can see I mitered the corners, tried to smooth it out and make it clean. Basically, right up here, I've got a thumb screw, and I don't remember what this is, this bracket. It's a piece of metal that I had, and I bent it a little bit to make it custom to fit this shape to hold these arms in. So, you know, the quadcopter is mounted firmly. So really, those 2 clips, and then I've got a zip tie here that just keeps everything in case it was to jostle out. Weather stripping foam here, and then she just slides out. And then here's the plate. I'll show you these mounts. After a lot of tinkering, I came up with this final design. This is actually bottom of a door I had just sitting around. It was a new door, and this is just solid wood. Painted it to finish it out. I've got a bumper here, and I've got a couple just weather stripping bumpers here. There's another T-nut right there that, you know, the thumb screw goes down into. Pretty good design. I really can't complain. I couldn't think of a better, more secure way to make this happen. So, you know, we've got two of those spaced out, and then this is just a simple little, you know, it's some plywood with a foam block in it, and all stays into place. Holds the front boom arms for my, you know, gimbal rails. So nothing too complicated. It was just, you know, when you buy a case like this and it's empty and it's just wide open space, and you want to get that and this and that and this and all these other things in it, like, it takes a little planning. And, you know, by no means copy what I'm doing, but hopefully some of these parts will get your brain to turning on how you want to build your own case. All in all, I'm happy with this case. I've been dragging it around for a year. A lot of outdoor stuff, a lot of deep wood stuff. Well, not too deep, because I don't carry this thing back in the woods. The whole case, all up weight with, you know, batteries, everything I need. Everything I just pulled out of this case with the case weighs around 83 pounds. So, yeah, it can be heavy to lift, but the case has rolling wheels on one side, and, you know, you slide it out of the back of the truck and walk it wherever you need to go. Pretty great setup. I like it. I'm going to go into a little more detail. If you want to hang out, keep watching. I'll show you what I got going on in my other cases within the mega case. Okay, first order of business, transmitter case. This is my Turnigy 9XR Space 1 FPV lanyard, and nothing fancy. It's your standard 9XR Pro, easy UHF JR module. I've never had a problem with any of it. It has been dependable and worked and has more range than I need. And if it doesn't, return to home. But I've never had a problem with it. This is my charging case. It's just, you know, one of those cheap Harbor Freight cases. I think it came with pick and pluck or dividers or something when it was new. I've had this case forever. Got tons of cases everywhere. I actually made this case before I even had a quad or before I had a hobby grade quad. I had toys. But I made this case because I knew a charging station would be important. So I'm not going to go into it, but I've got my power cables. This is for AC, this is for DC, all my, you know, charging cables. And then if you can see down in there, I've got a bunch of batteries. I've got three 6.6 4S. I've got three 8,000 milliamp 4S. And batteries for my monitor. I've got one for my goggles. Just extra batteries, head play battery. It all fits in here. Cool slick system. Got my voltage display. This is an Anchor smart charger, so I can basically plug anything that works off USB into it. It finds the appropriate voltage and charges the hell out of it. It's great for, my daughter flies smaller quads that fly off the 1S and the USB charger, and I don't want to dick with the board and, you know, hook them up to this, so I just plug them in there, and this charges them lightning fast. It's amazing. I love this product. I've got one in my car. I've got a large AC powered one I keep on my bed. These smart chargers are just great. Keep my tablet, phone, everything charged up. I'll go into this in a different video, but, you know, this is my Hi-Tech X4. This is a 40-watt power supply that I got off of eBay and has been really dependable. And I built the case for it, and it's great. Alright, my trusty first aid kit. I don't even know where I got this box, probably Home Depot or something. What I keep in here is a nice selection of tools, things that I like to have handy, just pliers, you know, hex head wrenches, micro screwdriver, nice knife. This cable is a gimbal controller for the T2D gimbal. Full, pretty serious at least. First aid kit in case I chop off a finger or someone else's finger or whatever. I keep extra antennas. These are my main antennas. I've got extra junkers up there. Voltage alarm, servo tester, and all these cables. These cables run different things for different video setups. Charge adapters, for the head play. You know, your typical stuff. I try to not bring too much because I feel like it's not necessary. Honestly, if I've got an M2 hex wrench and some pliers, you can pretty much fix anything on this quad. But I haven't broken anything yet, knock on wood. At least not seriously with my 650 quad. Never had an accident with it, so solid platform. So lastly, I just want to go over the case itself, the main case. It's an SKB ATA XL stand case. It is 49.5 inches long, 20.25 inches wide, and 13.5 inches deep. It has wheels and TSA compliant latches and locks. I believe I got it on sale on Amazon for $200, and it's huge. The plastic itself is really sturdy. It's not as thick or as solid as a Pelican case, which I would have preferred, but I couldn't find a Pelican case short of, $500-600 that would accommodate what I wanted to do. So I opted for this. It's actually made for mic stands or drum equipment, and the thing's just awesome. It's bomber. It's huge, but it's worth it to me to have everything in one case, one trip. And I got over the summer out flying at different places. Instead of making 20 trips or 5 trips to carry everything I have, I could pull this out, grab the handle, roll it to where I needed to go, and set up shop. It's the way I wanted to go, and I really like it. I'm happy with the case. So I'll put links in the description for the case, the foam. That's really about it. Everything else is just Harbor Freight or local hardware stores. I like cases. Obviously, I have cases everywhere. I like to be organized. It helps. It keeps everything I need. One time this last summer, I had a trip where I went, and I realized I was halfway to my destination, and I was missing 4 3mm screws. And it's been a process, to stock my case with what I want. I stopped. I bought 20 3mm screws to hold my props on the Tarot 650. But as you go with the case, you can acquire and build what you need to where you show up at the field and you don't need anything. Instead of being the guy that's going to somebody else and saying, hey, can I borrow this? You're the guy people come to and say, hey, do you have this? And you just might, if you got a good case that's stocked well. Is what it is. Hope you enjoyed my videos. Subscribe, give a chance, give it a like. I like that, whatever. I don't sell anything, I don't do anything. I just like to fly. The real party's on Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram yet, go there. I post every day, and it's good stuff. So thanks for watching. Have a good day.